Hey there, Alyssa Lebrecq here, nutritionist and gut expert. I am so excited to be jumping in here today because I have something I want to gift you. I have finally launched our perfect poop guide. You know, it was just a few short weeks ago that I jumped into our free Facebook group, the Love Your Guts IBS support group. If you're not in there, come join us. But I jumped into this group and I polled everyone and I asked everyone, when you came and found us and you joined our community, what was the predominant symptom, the number one symptom that you were hoping to find relief with? And I was blown away at the results because 87% of our community voted that issues with their bowels, and it ranged from diarrhea, constipation, or fluctuating diarrhea and constipation, were the predominant symptom, or was the predominant symptom that they were wanting to get relief with. 87%. Of course, bloating and gas and pain and acid reflux were things that came up, but the predominant thing is that what I'm seeing is so many of you guys are struggling to stabilize your bowels. And this really made me pause because we have always delivered a free IBS Be Gone cheat sheet. But what I learned is that what you guys really needed help with were your bowels. So I got to work with my team, and what we decided to do was take the exact guide, the exact protocol that we give our clients inside my Love and Trust Your Guts program, and give it to you guys. Okay, this is the exact guide that we give our clients right when they get started. We teach them how to stabilize their bowels right out of the gate, because what we have found is that it is impacting how they show up for their family. And typically because it's making them feel moody, because they're not feeling well and they're spending their spare time Googling, trying to find relief, or it's impacting their work. And they're finding that they're literally having to change their schedules. They're having to wake up earlier in the morning to try to squeeze in bowel movements before they leave the house for the day. Or they're changing their eating routine or how much they're drinking throughout the day to try to avoid having bowel movements at inconvenient times when they're at work or in board meetings, or having to do, lunch meetings. It was just like, this was the number one thing. So right away we get people stabilizing their bowels. And quite honestly, so many people come into our program having caused so much damage to their bowels, creating bowel dependency, or actually damage to the motility itself from having taken laxatives and antidiarrheals and random supplements, eating these bottles of supplements for so many years trying to stabilize their bowels, that I'm just going to do you and I both a favor and teach you how to do this the correct way so that you don't create any more damage to your poor intestines, okay? Listen, if we are having to rob Peter to pay Paul, or you're having to pay your MasterCard off with your Visa, that's not a good win, right? And so these kinds of analogies, what I'm seeing happen is people are taking laxatives, antidiarrheals, over-the-counter medications, drugs, prescriptions to try to stabilize their diarrhea, constipation, or fluctuating poops. But it's costing them in other areas. It's creating damage to their gut in other areas and actually creating a prolonged symptom issue and a larger gut issue. So that's what I mean by robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's not a win for you, right? It might get you temporary relief today, but tomorrow you're right back to square one, and we've potentially created more damage on top of the already existing gut issues. So this is why, again, we decided to give you guys this perfect poop guide right off the hop so that you can get going with the first step, which is stabilizing your bowels. Okay, so put the link above for you. Now listen, I want to recognize and acknowledge here that stabilizing your bowels can feel like one of the toughest things. And it really makes sense because if we think about it, if we go back to school for a second, we were never taught how to actually take care of our gut. Right? We were taught, like with our car, you do maintenance on your car. You got to do regular oil changes, right? We all know this, because if you don't do oil changes on your car, especially for the life of the car, you're going to need a new engine, and that shit's expensive. So you're like, fine, I will pay the $40, or if you've got some fancy schmancy car, you might be paying like, you're going for synthetic oil change, you're paying a little bit more, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? The point is you do the damn oil change. Right? we know this. And it's the same thing with our gut. We've got all this wear and tear, and we need to do maintenance on the car, on the gut. But no one ever taught us how to do the oil change for the gut. And so when we come in not knowing how to actually take care of our gut and take care of our bodies, and then on top of it, the World Wide Web, we're Googling desperate for relief, we get all kinds of conflicting recommendations and information, and one blog saying chug magnesium citrate, and the other saying take laxatives, no, don't take laxatives, take Imodium, no, don't take Imodium, and it gets so overwhelming. And yet our desperation for relief, we have the fuck it moment. We've all been there. You know the fuck it moment where you read it and you're like, fuck it, I don't even care. I don't care what it does. Don't care what the damage is. Like, I just need relief. If this gives me relief, I do not care. Right? It's the fuck it and you take it. And so guys, this is why it can feel so tough and overwhelming when we're trying to stabilize our bowels. And this is why I see so many people make the common mistakes that lead to more damage in the long run. So what I find typically happens is we get this throwing pasta at the wall, hoping it sticks. And if you've been there, I want you to know that you're not alone. This is really coming from this desire in you to fix what's going on, this desire for things to be better. And that is a good thing. So I don't want you to get hard on yourself here, but we have to do better. We have to get you some better tools that are not going to create more problems. So here's the thing. With laxatives and antidiarrheals, there's a lot of different, things that can fall under these categories. And I'm mentioning here how there's a lot of damage that can come from them. So what I wanted to do is kind of walk you through what this perfect poop guide is going to deliver to you, so you know what you're going to get, okay? What it's going to help you with, what it's not going to help you with. So you can be really clear about that. So this perfect poop guide, there's a lot of different information in here. And just because it's free, I don't want you to think that it's not actually going to be valuable. This perfect poop guide is super valuable. Remember, this is the exact guide that I give my clients inside my Love and Trust Your Guts program, which means we're committed to helping them get results, which means it actually works because we want to help you get actual results, right? Because here's the thing, guys. You're going to be reaching out to me being like, what do I do if it's not working? So that's why we've put together our most impactful tools. And not only am I going to get you protocols and everything, which we're going to go through, I'm going to talk to you about laxatives and antidiarrheals and the different types of laxatives and antidiarrheals and what kind of damage they do, what you need to be looking out for, and then the exact swap that you can make to something that's just as effective, if not more, without the damage. Okay, so in the perfect poop guide, the first thing that we walk you through is that we help you understand the different types of laxatives, antidiarrheals, what harm can come from them, and which ones you actually want to use. Then we're going to walk you through what an actual perfect poop is. Now, I know this might seem like I know what a perfect poop is, but please just indulge me, because you may be surprised at the information you read. So many people in our community, when I describe a perfect poop, are shooketh. They usually at some point go, oh my God, Alyssa, I have never been able to poop that much in my life. I thought I was a perfect pooper. So have a read through that, because we're not only going to teach you how many bowel movements you need to have a day, but we're also going to be teaching you what shape, what size, what color, all of those things inside that perfect poop guide. Okay, now this is the information that you need to know when you're hitting the mark and how to avoid causing damage to your gut. But the meat and potatoes of the perfect poop guide is where we're going to give you the specific protocols. Now, I want you to hear this from me, because there's always someone that's like, but what about my specific condition? We have a protocol in there for every possible poop style, okay? So whether you have diarrhea, whether you have constipation, or whether you have both and you're hanging out in the middle and Perhaps maybe it looks like for you, you can go a couple of days with no bowel movement or unsatisfying poops, and then when you do go, you get diarrhea, okay? Or maybe you're the type of person that is pooping daily, but again, it's not feeling satisfying, or maybe you're going multiple days without poop. Or we've even had clients that come into our program, they're wearing straight up Depends to work because they cannot control their bowels whatsoever. And or they're having to wake up several hours before they leave for work to get all of the poop out of them so that they know they can leave the house without having to worry about having an accident or worrying about where the closest toilet is, okay? So no matter where you are in the spectrum, we have a protocol for you inside there, okay? And I also want to acknowledge that this isn't just supplement based. Okay, guys, we don't just out supplement things. It's so much more than even food and supplements. We have to be looking at all the different factors that influence your poops, from stress to tension built up in the intestines, all of it, which is why we've also given you a perfect poop checklist. And this checklist obviously covers your protocol, but it's gonna give you other tools that you may not have ever heard of, and linking up different products that we recommend. And it's really, really in depth. So I'm gonna just tell you, because it's so thorough, I want you to take one step at a time with it, okay? And we really wanna help you in implementing this protocol. So we're gonna get you some support with it too, but just take one step at a time. And then the last thing we're gonna walk you through is we're gonna talk about fiber, because listen, many of you guys have been to your doctor and you're kind of questioning the advice that you're getting there, and you're realizing that they're not really getting you data, they're not getting you proper functional testing, they're not also getting you a concrete plan or even the reason why all this is happening. They just seem to be trying to push pills down your throat or fiber. And many of you guys have heard the doctor just say, eat more fiber. Well, I'm here to tell you that eating more fiber can sometimes make things worse. And so what I've done is I've broken down all the different types of fiber, what you need to be aiming for in fiber, and in your protocol, again, depending on the type of poop that you have, I tell you the specific timing of when it's appropriate to add in fiber. Spoiler alert, it's never at the beginning. It's always typically at the end once we get things stabilized. Okay, so listen, there's tons of information in there. I'm going to recap, tons of information in there. The purpose of this perfect poop guide is it's going to act as your first step. It's going to help you to stabilize your bowels, okay? Now, once you get started with the perfect poop guide, you're going to get a video from me. I send a personalized video to every single person who signs up for the perfect poop guide, okay? So when you get signed up, you will expect to see within a week a personalized video from me. And that's where you and I are gonna do a symptom assessment together, because the reality is it just starts with your poops. Poops are just the first thing. We're stabilizing those so that you can get some energy back. You can get some, confidence back in your body. And when that happens, then we want to take that extra steam you just regained and put that into focusing and figuring out why these angry, unpredictable poops happened in the first place, right? It's when we start fixing the root cause that you can actually fix your gut. And when we fix your gut, you can get out of that symptom management rut. So that's why I'm gonna reach out to you personally, send you that video, and we're gonna do that symptom assessment together so we can get you support in implementing the perfect poop guide and getting into fixing your gut. Okay guys, that's it for today. So click on the link, download your perfect poop guide. Again, it's totally free. We're gonna help you avoid the mistakes that we see so many people make that ends up causing damage to their intestines. We don't want that for you. Let's get it right the first time. All right, guys, we'll chat soon. Bye.